All right, and we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. I see a lot of folks joining in the chat right now. Thank you very, very much. And before we get started with the stream, I do need to say Happy Day of the Departed. Yay! It's Day of the Departed currently. If you guys don't know, October 29th is when Day of the Departed aired over here in the States, so that's kind of we've kind of made that a holiday over here, if that makes sense. But it's a holiday that I do not celebrate. So let's talk about episode 3 of Ninjago, entitled Snakebit. So we're going to be continuing on our episode reviews today, doing this live for all of you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Day of the Departed. Yes, everyone in the chat is very excited for Day of the Departed. I know I sure am. I love me some Day of the Departed, man. But let's go ahead and get started here by talking about some of the information that we usually cover on this stream. So in case you guys are just joining us here for the first time on one of these streams, welcome. In terms of when we stream and what the streams are going to be about, we'll be streaming Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time. This is, of course, every day Monday through Friday. I take Saturday and Sundays off because those are my day off, and yeah, I just need a couple days of rest, so that's what we're going to be doing. But in the streams, we'll be talking about an episode review plus a Q&A. The streams are going to be an hour long, and most of the time the episode reviews will not take up the entire stream. Normally they take up around the first maybe 15-20 minutes of the stream, and then we turn it over to Q&A afterwards. So obviously I won't be answering any type of general question during the review segment of the stream, so if you guys had any just regular, just general questions about just anything, save those until the Q&A section. I will be announcing when that comes up, so you guys won't miss it. But if you had any type of question related to the episode at hand, feel free to go ahead and ask that in the chat. If I get to it, I will answer it. And of course, we'll update this day by day as well. So yeah, if there's ever a day where I can't stream or if something comes up, I will let you guys know on the community tab. So let's go ahead and not waste any more time here. We are talking about episode 3 of Ninjago entitled Snakebit. This episode came out in early 2012, and I remember watching this and being super obsessed with this episode. For a long time, this was one of my favorite episodes of the original season. Does it still hold up? Let's go ahead and talk about it. So welcome everyone joining us right now. I see a couple more people in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What does it mean when this video is not for kids? I mean, this video is not for the youngins. I make my videos for older Ninjago fans, but of course, if you are younger, I can't stop you from watching. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. We'll get the slideshow rolling in the back. Let's talk about the plot of this episode. Who's been with Ninjago since the beginning? I have. I've been here since day one, and I don't plan on going away anytime soon. I'm sure a lot of other folks in the chat feel the same. But let's go ahead and get started here. So the episode pretty much picks up where the last episode left off, with the ninja in their new base, and it's pretty much a disaster. I mean, the Destiny's Bounty, while it is super cool, this one is kind of run down, and it's not really the best thing ever. So the ninja wake up early, or they are woken up early rather, by Master Wu, much to the ninja's disdain, and Wu makes them clean, but the ninja realize, hey, we can use spinjitzu, make the process go a whole lot faster. So yeah, the ninja go ahead and do that and completely clean up the bounty. It's actually pretty impressive how well they do, and Nia and Wu pretty much comment on this as well. Then suddenly we get a visit from Jay's parents, who, let me just say, are some of the greatest characters in these first couple of episodes. I really, really love Ed and Edna, and we'll get more into why I like them later on when we talk about the good stuff of this episode. But just overall, their introduction is in this episode, and they come and visit and pretty much just embarrass Jay immediately. They waste no time telling all the rest of the ninja just embarrassing secrets and facts about Jay's life, which I can't help but laugh at. Kind of is a little bit of karma for the way that they all bullied Zane in the last episode. So yeah, but anyway, they leave, and the ninja pretty much go back to doing whatever. But meanwhile, we follow Lloyd, who is currently searching for the Fangpire tomb, and they actually are awakened when Lloyd finds it. Of course, he interacts with Fangton, the leader of the Fangpire, and he pretty much convinces the Fangpire to join his side by proposing that they can go ahead and fight off the Hypnobrai. So we will see that in a later episode. the quote-unquote fight between the Fangpire and the Hypnobrai. But in this episode, we just get the Fangpire kind of following Lloyd, much like the Hypnobrai did the past few episodes. But we cut to Ed and Edna's junkyard where the Fangpire are already there, and they turn all of Ed's stuff into snake vehicles, much to his surprise. And they are both extremely terrified of the Fangpire, as you are. I mean, these guys are kind of intimidating. The Fangpire are probably one of the most again, like intimidating, scary tribes of the Serpentine. Obviously, the Anacondrae are probably the most feared out of all of them, but we're not there quite yet. We still got a little bit of ways to wait until we see the Anacondrae pop up in Ninjago. Just a few more episodes. Jay kisses his pillow fanfic. Yeah, I'd pay to see that. Somebody write that. Yeah, this pretty much was a Jay-focused episode, and I really like that. We'll get more into Jay's impact on this episode in a few minutes when we talk about some of the good stuff. But anyway, yeah, the Fangpire basically turn all of Ed's stuff into vehicles, and now they have some type of army. Meanwhile, back at the Destiny's Bounty, the ninja are kind of poking fun at Jay for not visiting his parents, so eventually he caves in. He's like, fine, I'll go visit my parents. Fortunately, he can't really ride the dragons because the dragons have something else going on. They are currently going through their molt, and they must leave to go to the Spirit Cove. So that's what they do. So the ninja are left without dragons, so they're just kind of forced to walk. They do have a little bit of an introductory segment, if you will, to the sacred flutes, which we saw in previous episodes, but this episode kind of, talks about it a little bit more, and Wu kind of explains what it can do and where it comes from. So that's kind of interesting. But they do arrive at the junkyard, to which Jay notes that it's way too quiet there, and yeah, something is very wrong. They run in and find Jay's parents tied up in a fridge, and they are turning into snakes because they're both bitten by the Fangpire. So that's something. The Fangpire also do just attack and appear out of nowhere along with Lloyd, so the ninja now have something to face, and a battle breaks out in the junkyard. There is a little segment where Wu and Lloyd have a little bit of a talk. Lloyd doesn't listen at all, but Wu kind of stresses that, hey man, you're on the wrong side. You should come hang out with us and, be a good guy. To which Lloyd is just like, nah, I'll just do my own thing. In a way, he's kind of just like, no, I don't think I will. So, yeah. But anyway, the Fangpire and the ninja basically have a huge battle. The Fangpire have all kinds of crazy gadgets. They have a wrecking ball, and they did find a robot that Jay's dad had built for Jay in honor of him, being a ninja, in honor of his success. And the ninja have to fight that. I do really like the bit where Cole kind of takes it on. That's pretty fun. But going back to the actual plot, Jay eventually goes after the wrecking ball and takes it over and manages to take down the giant robot, pretty much solving a lot of the issues. Unfortunately, the Fangpire retreat, which is unfortunate for the ninja because they really need the anti-venom in the staff to go ahead and cure Ed and Edna of their sickness or their snakiness. Not sure what you would call that. Was not a very good uncle to start out with. I'm pretty sure he just kind of expected Lloyd to use his brain and be like, "Hey man, come work with us. You have potential." But Lloyd is just like in denial at this point because he wants to be a bad guy so badly. So he's like, "No, I'm not going to join the good guys. I'm a bad guy." These photos are making me feel so nostalgic. Yeah, this whole, I guess, review process is pretty fun because I get to go ahead and rewatch the episodes, talk about them, take screenshots, all that kind of good stuff. It's really fun to revisit because this was basically my childhood right here. But anyway, after Jay takes on the giant wrecking ball, the Fangpire retreat, but the ninja are in desperate need to chase them because again they need the anti-venom. Fortunately for them, Wu informs them at this current point in time that their golden weapons can actually do more than what they appear on the surface, and they can actually turn into vehicles, to which the ninja all focus their minds, focus their energy into their golden weapons, and they actually go ahead and summon vehicles. We got Jay's Stormfighter, Cole's Tread Assault, Kai's Blade Cycle, and Zane's Snowmobile. Is that the official name for that? Anyway, Jay kind of takes off after the Fangpire in the Stormfighter, basically leaving the rest of the ninja behind. And he eventually does get the staff, but he loses control of the Stormfighter and pretty much plummets down to the surface. The ninja are trying to save him, but they can't because they also lose focus too. And it's just not a good time. I love how Kai says, "Don't tell me I have to ride this like a broomstick." I think that'd be really funny to see him do that. Just like rides the sword of fire. That'd be funny. In terms of the golden weapon vehicles, let me know in the chat which ones you guys think is the best. In terms of the four that we have, I was always a big fan of the Stormfighter. I always thought that one was the best one out of all of them. But let me know in the chat which one you guys like most. all the vehicles are pretty cool, all things considered, but each one has like its own little perk to it. I had all of them when I was younger, except for the snowmobile. So, Blade Cycle, Tread Assault, Jay's the best it can fly. Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Honestly, each one of the Ninja's vehicles is fine. But in terms of the Golden Weapon vehicles, I personally enjoy the Stormfighter. Yeah, Kai's Blade Cycle, Stormfighter, I don't know, they're all pretty good overall. But the ninja eventually do catch up with Ed and Edna, and they save Jay from falling, and they make a quick retreat back to the Destiny's Bounty, but the Fangpire are pretty much hot on their tail. Luckily for the ninja, Jay has prepared a little bit of an update to the Destiny's Bounty that actually makes it fly. So they take off and leave the Fangpire pretty much in the dust. So that's pretty much the end of that. But on the Destiny's Bounty, Jay kind of reconciles with his parents a little bit, and they eventually make up. So, and that'll pretty much do it for the actual plot of this episode. This episode was a pretty interesting one to revisit, I'd say. I remember really liking this episode as a kid, and just jumping right into the good stuff right away. This episode is the reason why Jay was originally my favorite ninja. I really liked him in the pilots and stuff like that, but this episode I thought was so cool. The way that Jay actually, fought, I thought that was really well done. One of my favorite bits in this episode is when he basically like limbos under the wrecking ball, and then he climbs on top of the wrecking ball. That's just really cool to me, and I always really thought that it was just like a really cool sequence for Jay, and this episode is obviously Jay focused. So it was really cool watching this episode. A lot of fun memories with this episode way back in the day. Was this the one where Jay's true potential happens? No, that's episode 8. We'll get to that here sometime next week, I imagine. Maybe. Yeah, we should be getting to that next week, so stay tuned for that one. This one was just kind of an introductory episode to Jay. It was just kind of a focus of him, if that makes sense. Something else I do need to point out: Jay's parents are great. I mean, there's not really anything to it. It's episode 8, right? Once bitten, twice shy. Because episode 7 was TikTok. Episode 9's Royal Blacksmith. Episode 10's The Green Ninja. So on and so forth. But yeah, Jay's parents are pretty cool. They're really funny, and they're not obnoxious, which was my original, I guess, concern going back into it, because I remember watching this as a kid and being super, like, obsessed with Ed and Edna because I thought they were just so great. But going back to it, I was worried that I would find them annoying. Luckily, I didn't. In this modern day and age with myself, I find a lot of things obnoxious and annoying, especially about like newer Ninjago stuff and side characters. But luckily, Ed and Edna were still fine to me. I did not find them obnoxious at all. I thought that they were pretty good. Also, the Fangpire, or at least for the most part, the Fangpire are really intimidating. There are some moments in there that are just kind of like out of nowhere, and it's just kind of awkward with the Fangpire. But that's just the Serpentine in general. It's not like the Serpentine themselves are the most intelligent creatures out there. They're pretty much just like the regular. It's like some of them are pretty good, some of them aren't. It's just whatever, pretty much. But the Fangpire, for the most part, are really intimidating, and I really like that. Sorry I can't donate because of COVID issues. Hey, no problem. I mean, as long as you guys are, if you watch the stream, I mean, hey, that's support enough. Again, like donations are open, but obviously you don't need to. It's not even like that big of a deal, to be honest. You know, the support goes farther than just, a dollar amount, if that makes sense. Just by being here in the chat, you guys are supporting me. So thank you very much for that. And don't feel bad or anything like that. It's perfectly okay. But anyway, with some of the other good stuff, I really like the vehicles overall. This episode introduced the Spinjitzu vehicles that spawn from the golden weapons, which is really cool. But overall, their introduction was really well done. Obviously, I thought it kind of came out of nowhere, but the golden weapons are something that Master Wu pretty much hasn't trained the ninja with yet because they're just starting out. I had to remember that, watching this episode, that the golden weapons and especially the ninja, they're new. They're new to them. They don't really know how to use them quite yet, and all things considered, they are just kind of starting out as ninja to begin with. So I can't really expect them to know everything. So it didn't really feel like it was. I didn't really feel like it was too big of a deal that the ninja didn't know how to use their golden weapons because obviously they're just starting out. So, but the vehicles themselves are really cool. I loved again the Stormfighter's introduction. I love all the vehicles, but the Stormfighter is still my favorite. And just overall, that giant battle towards the end of the episode was really fun. Again, that's the episode that made me fall in love with Jay's character. Honestly, this is the reason why Jay was my favorite moving forward. Obviously, when Lloyd became a ninja, my focus was kind of shifted a little bit. But all things considered, Jay overall was a pretty good focus character in this episode, and the battles absolutely supported that. In terms of bad stuff, there's not a whole lot, but if I had to get nitpicky, I'd say that the fight with the snakes, or at least some of them, was kind of, I guess, boring a little bit. Certain parts of the fight were, like, for example, the whole Wu combat bit with Nia. It just kind of took me away and took me out of the battle. There was like this huge battle going on, and then you just kind of cut to the side and have this little minor battle in there that's not exciting to begin with. It just kind of felt like someone like slammed on the brakes super quick. So, yeah, that's the only bad thing that I can point out, besides the fact that the ending seemed a little rushed as well. Again, this is just me kind of nitpicking, but I couldn't help but notice that the ending of this episode, it just kind of felt like the Fangpire just wouldn't stop, and it felt like another battle was coming with the Destiny's Bounty, but they just escape and nothing more. Obviously, if the episode was a little longer, I think that they would have had a larger action sequence at the end, because the ninja, as it is, they just kind of escape in the Destiny's Bounty, never to be seen again. But yeah, overall, it felt like there was something more coming, and then the episode just ends. So couldn't help but notice that. Just kind of threw me off a little bit. But overall, this episode is really, really good. This episode was a pleasure to revisit, and honestly, like a lot of the other episodes that I've reviewed so far, it's always fun rewatching them, taking down notes, screenshotting. It just like the nostalgia factor is there, and it just doesn't stop. So I'm excited to continue this series of reviews for you guys here on the channel. In terms of this episode, though, and feel free to go ahead and rate this episode out of 10 as well. We're going to go ahead and give this episode a 9 out of 10. I feel like that's a pretty fair score. Again, some of the bad stuff I was kind of nitpicking on, if we're being honest, but it's stuff that took me out of the actual battle. So 9 out of 10 from me. Let's see what you guys have in the scores in the chat. 7 out of 10, 9, 8, 10. Wish I could go higher because it's all amazing and sweet and perfect. This episode was pretty solid overall, I will say that. 7.6, 9, 10, 6.5, 7, 3 out of 20. I love how Wu just has a thermometer. Yeah, it's like, what were you doing with that thermometer, dude? He just comes out from behind the dragon holding the thermometer. He's like, hey, bad news, guys. These dragons need to go. And it's like, yeah, no wonder they want to get out of there so bad. Like, what were you doing with that thermometer, dude? 6.5 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 7. Will I review every episode? Every episode that I haven't reviewed yet. So pretty much from the pilots all the way to season 6 is what we're going to be doing. Right now we're still on the 3rd episode of season 1, so it's going to be taking a little bit of time. Yeah, it's just like the giant thermometer. It's ridiculous. 9 out of 12, 6.5 out of 100. That's a pretty good score. 10 out of 10. Yeah, nostalgia all the way, man. This episode is pretty fun. Obviously, it's a pleasure to revisit, and just overall, I really enjoyed this episode. Tomorrow, we will be talking about episode 4 of Ninjago, but obviously, this stream here is not done yet. Um, why did he have the giant thermometer? Presumably, he was checking the dragon's temperatures in a very interesting manner, I'd say. But let's go ahead and turn it over now to the Q&A section of this stream. Still got a fair bit of time left, so let's go ahead and get started. I did have some extra episode pictures lined up. We got March of the Oni ready to go in celebration of March of the Oni coming out on Netflix in the States. Figured I'd go ahead and put some March of the Oni in the background. So enjoy that. And also, in case you guys didn't get my update yesterday, in the United States, March of the Oni is going to be added onto Netflix this Sunday. But it's not just that. I found out earlier or last night that season 11 is also coming onto Netflix in the States, but it's just labeled as like a new series. So that's cool. But when you go to that new series, it says seasons coming soon, meaning that they could be adding all the way up to season 13. I would genuinely be surprised. I would do a backflip off the deck of my house if they add season 11, 12, and 13 all at once. And I will record it too. I hope they don't now because it sounds like I might die. But it's just like, I don't know, it's really fun seeing that Netflix is adding more Ninjago. And I will be doing an update video probably tomorrow talking about that. Today I just kind of want to reserve all the uploads for Day of the Departed stuff because it is the Day of the Departed day. I already uploaded one of those videos today, and 2 more are going to be going up later on. Yeah, I'll do it, man. If they add all the way up to season 13, I will do it. What I think is going to happen, though, is that they're just going to be adding season 11 on there and labeling one season as the fire chapter, one season of the ice chapter. That's probably what they're going to do. If they add everything, though, I will be genuinely surprised. But just wanted to make that quick announcement. I'll be doing a video about that tomorrow. Just because it's kind of cool. Netflix out of nowhere is just adding a bunch of Ninjago, so that's always good. I was really excited for March of the Oni though, because March of the Oni is super underrated. It's one of my favorite things about Ninjago, and I feel like it doesn't get the love and respect that it deserves. It's my baby, and I will protect it. Do a double backflip on your head and balance for 1 minute. If I could, I would, man. But obviously, we're in the Q&A, so any type of questions go now. What do I like better, season 11 or Day of the Departed, or do you hate them equally? No, season 11 is far better. Day of the Departed is easily my least favorite thing about Ninjago, and there hasn't been anything that's come out since that has been worse. Season 11 didn't even get close. Yeah, March of the Oni is pretty great. I mean, the actual movie edit of it, I have some issues with it. I think I gave it like a 7 out of 10 when I did my review over a year and a half ago. But I really like it. I can't wait to watch it again. I don't think on Netflix they're going to have the movie format, though. I think they're just going to have the 4 episodes. So I'm just still excited for it because I want to watch it again. Do I like Back to the Future? Yeah, I do. I have the trilogy on Blu-ray. It's one of my favorite movie trilogies of all time. It's pretty solid. I will say Back to the Future is one of the several movies, or one of the few movies that I watch and I actually like. I'm on the edge of my seat the whole time, even though I know what's going to happen. So I guess that's something. Why do I dislike season 11 so much? They just had like a lot of like wasted time in there that obviously season 11 was kind of long, and I feel like at some points it was drawn out. Also, the writing wasn't very good. Some of the characterization needed work. Some of the villains weren't too great either, and just overall there were too many instances of people in Ninjago season 11 just kind of, again, just wasting time, I'd say. The episodes themselves, some of them were good, some of them really didn't need to be in there. You could have cut a lot out and it would have saved everyone so much time. Just overall, it's pretty mediocre compared to other Ninjago seasons. It's not like a great introduction to this new series of Ninjago, which is something else that I really don't understand. Like on Netflix, for example, as well, season 11, and the reason why I didn't see it when I made my initial March of the Oni video was because it's labeled as a new series on Netflix, and I absolutely hate that. It's like, it's not a new series. That just confuses people. I'll do a video on that too. That's on the pipeline as well for probably tomorrow unless something comes up. But I don't know. It's like season 11 was just, I don't know, it was just awkward. Some stuff didn't need to be in there. You could have taken a lot out and it would have been 10 times better. Should I get back into Ninjago? Absolutely. Like the newer seasons are pretty great. Like Prime Empire and Master of the Mountain are some of the two best Ninjago seasons since, like Sons of Garmadon. So I'd highly recommend getting back into it now. So Cartoon Network app, there are two Ninjagos. Yeah, because again, like I really just don't like the separation because it's obviously still the same story, but I can understand why they would separate it. But then that just confuses people into thinking that season 11 isn't connected and that March of the Oni was the end. Which honestly, if they wanted to, they could have made March of the Oni the end because it was all there, but they didn't. But I feel like March of the Oni would have been a great plan for an ending of Ninjago. So yeah, it was sad when Cole fell. Yeah, I kind of knew that he wasn't gonna like die or anything like that, but it was still a sad moment. And I feel like March of the Oni did a really good job. Do I have a Nintendo Switch? I do. I play Pokemon on it almost every day, just because I love Pokemon and the new DLC has come out. So I've been working hard. Completed the Pokedex a few days ago, so now I am catching legendaries in the raids. So yeah. Let's see what we got. Do I like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy? Overall, yeah, I think it's good. I have that on Blu-ray as well. but I don't think that Maguire is the best Spider-Man. Not by a long shot. There are a lot of issues with that movie. Some of it, or those movies rather, especially the third one, but a lot of it doesn't really hold up very well. The first movie has like really dated effects and jokes. The second movie is the best one in that trilogy, at least in my opinion. So yeah, I'm Dynamax raid battling right now, watching this vid. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, the first I guess Crown Tundra legendary raid that I did, I got a shiny Dialga, so that was pretty nice, unexpected. But I think shinies have a higher chance to appear in those raids if I'm not mistaken, so it's not all that special. So I like the third movie. Yeah, the third Spider-Man movie and all that great. I'm really excited for the third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie though, because that sounds like it's going to be awesome. If they have the other two Spider-Men in there, that's going to be amazing. In Ninjago Season 8, the last episode, how did Kai melt Vengestone chains? I don't remember that part. I'll have to go ahead and rewatch it, but I'm guessing it's probably just an error, or maybe he like used up too much of his fire, or maybe the Vengestone wasn't all the way there, or maybe it wasn't Vengestone. I gotta go ahead and rewatch it. But it might have just been a mistake, because Ninjago makes mistakes all the time. As I take a drink of my beverage, in case you guys are following the beverage lore here during the streams, we had iced tea. What day is it? Thursday. We had iced tea on Tuesday. Yesterday we had Mountain Dew, and today we have Dr. Pepper. Obviously, great beverages. I am extremely healthy. Favorite beverage, probably Dr. Pepper. So I'm happy. What phone do I have? I have an iPhone 11 something. I don't know what version it is. I really don't care. Phones are phones. As long as it helps me make videos, we're good to go. Do I think Asphira is a Hypnobrite? Honestly, probably not. I think she's like in a gray area. I don't think she's either or any one of the 5 original tribes. She's kind of her own thing, but she still is a Serpentine. So that's good. Am I having Coke tomorrow? I don't know. I don't really care for Coca-Cola, for being honest. It kind of tastes super bland. That's why I like Dr. Pepper, because it's kind of like the third and best one of the Holy Trinity. So you got like Coca-Cola, you got Pepsi, and then you got Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is the best. When is season 14 coming out? We don't have an exact date at the moment, but presumably sometime in early 2021. I would estimate around maybe February or March. Have you ever seen a Christopher Reeve Superman movie? I have not. I have not gone back and checked out those older Superman films. Is the monastery set on Amazon worth my money? Depends on how much it is. When it came out, I paid $63 for it at retail, just because Target, when they launched it's like an $80 set if I'm not mistaken, but I got it for 63 because Target had marked it down immediately when it came out, or at least my Target did. It was really weird. So I don't know, but I got it for 63. It just depends on how much it is on Amazon. If it's over 80, I wouldn't recommend it. So. Do I collect Pokemon cards? I used to. My childhood pretty much consisted of Pokemon, so by the time I was like 6 years old, I was collecting Pokemon cards. That's pretty much all I did. I stopped around the time that X and Y came out. So from like Diamond and Pearl to X and Y, I was collecting Pokemon cards. I have like binders full of Pokemon cards. Um, but not so much these days. Every once in a while, I'll grab a pack if I'm like at Walmart or something, and I'll grab just one booster pack to see if I can get lucky with something. But most of the time, I don't. And I end up just giving the cards to one of the people that work at the school, because my mom works at a school, and she's got a lot of like kids in her class that love Pokemon, so I just pass on the cards to them because I don't need them anymore. $70. Is it a good set? If it's 70, I'd say go for it. Yeah. The monastery is actually a pretty decently built set, in my opinion. It's pretty well done. You get all 6 of the March of the Oni / Legacy Ninja. I'd say go for it, especially if it's only $70. Anything over 80, I wouldn't pay for. Pyro Vipers are literally the weakest type of Serpentine. They have no abilities. Yeah, I mean, by default, they're pretty weak. Like, the only reason that Asphira got as powerful as she did was because she stole Kai's fire, right? Should I watch Hero Factory? Yeah, I'd recommend it. Hero Factory was kind of what got me into Lego to begin with. And then Ninjago came out like 6 months after Hero Factory debuted. But the show was pretty good. So I like that. I heard that Ninjago will end in 2022. Is that true? I just want to be sure. We don't know at the moment. We know that it's going until at least 2022. There's nothing confirmed after that, but that doesn't mean that it's going to end. There's just nothing more confirmed after that at the moment. But if it's not going to end, they will be reviewing, or they will be revealing new stuff as it comes out. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and switch over the episode pictures here. Yeah, we'll go to Hands of Time for the moment. I got a whole bunch of seasons loaded up here in terms of slideshows, so yeah. But just because nothing's confirmed after 2022 doesn't mean that it's going to end. There's just nothing confirmed yet because LEGO hasn't confirmed anything. So, who do I think is more powerful, Omega or Nauticon? Omega by default. If Nauticon has like infinite wishes, then obviously he's going to be uber powerful. Um, but the Omega by default is probably one of the strongest villains in Ninjago. Do I think Ninjago will hit 20 seasons? I'd like to see it hit as many as it can, before it starts like getting stale and whatnot. There was a brief moment in time where Ninjago kind of got a little stale there. I think it was around, funny enough, Hands of Time. But luckily, season 8 just kind of resurged the series and brought it back. So happy with that. Season 11 was also kind of weak, but Prime Empire brought it back strong. So um, it's not like Ninjago's stale anymore. It's just like, you know, there's been moments where it has kind of dipped, but if it can hit like up to 20 seasons again, like the question asked, I feel like that could be really cool. Just depends on what the quality of the seasons are. My favorite season is season 4, Tournament of Elements. That's been my favorite since it's come out, and nothing else has kind of topped it. Sons of Garmadon has gotten pretty close, though. Sons of Garmadon is a very close second. And I believe in my most recent ranking video, I said that season 13 was my third favorite. So, top 3, you got Tournament of Elements, Sons of Garmadon, Master of the Mountain. Really good stuff going on in season 13. If you guys haven't seen it yet, highly recommend checking it out. It is very fun. Can Zane be my Ninjaroid brother? Absolutely, but only if you ask him politely. Do I have an iPad? I do not. I do not have an iPad. My favorite elemental master, in terms of like the ninja, I'd have to say Cole, but if we're talking like away from the ninja, obviously Skylar. I think Skylar is one of my favorite characters overall, so I gotta go with her. What games do I have for Nintendo Switch? As I said earlier, pretty much just Pokemon. I do have Mario Kart. Don't really play it very often though. I have Animal Crossing. Don't really play that too often. I have Nekopara. Don't really play that very much. Just overall, I bought the Switch for Pokemon. So, which elemental masters do I like? Um, well, pretty much all of them. There's not really one that I just downright hate or anything like that. So. Honestly, they're all pretty good in my opinion. There's not one that is just like, ugh, this guy. At least not off the top of my head. Everyone hates Day of the Departed. Eh, to each his own. Obviously, if you like Day of the Departed, I'm not going to shun you or anything like that. It's just my personal least favorite thing about Ninjago. But obviously, I'm not going to like belittle someone for liking it. You can like whatever you want. Really does not matter to me. Gonna get a Nintendo Switch Lite for Christmas. Awesome. I have just like a regular Switch. I got it as a graduation gift. Pokemon or Ninjago, just to clarify, both. Pokemon's been a part of my life since I was 6 years old. Ninjago's been a part of my life since I was 10. So they've both been assisting me throughout my time growing up, so I can't really let one go and I can't really choose one. They're both equally important to me. Is Dareth Daddy? Absolutely not. He is not. I play Pokemon Sword and Shield. Yeah, Sword and Shield are really great. A lot of folks really just do not like Sword and Shield, but most people's issues with it is that, oh, I can't bring up all the Pokemon. You don't really need to, man. Just play the game, you know. Um, have I played any of the Ninjago games? Which one's my favorite? I have a few Ninjago games. I have Lego Battles Ninjago for the DS, if you guys remember that game. Haven't really played that, but the only one that I really played is the Ninjago movie video game when that came out. But I always say I regret paying $60 for that game. It's worth 20 at the most, in my opinion. Lego games in general, I just don't really care for, and I have not played Shadow of Ronin either. In a lot of ways, I'm like really mad at that game because it tries to be canon to the show when it's definitely not. That's been one of the biggest arguments throughout Ninjago's history is like, is Shadow of Ronin canon or not? I don't know. It's definitely not. There are too many things going on in Shadow of Ronin that just kind of make it not canon. And if it is, then the whole timeline's messed up. So, yeah, that's my stance on Ninjago video games. Uh, do I play Overwatch? I used to play only on the free weekends. um, Not so much anymore. I really love Bastion though. Like I have the Lego Overwatch Bastion on the shelf right now, but I've modified it a little bit to make it a little bit better looking. But I absolutely love Bastion, so I have him. But he's like the only person from Overwatch that I, like. Between seasons 4 and 5, we don't know what happened. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there. There's like a little bit of a gap, but I don't know. Just overall, there's some stuff in there that it makes no sense. If you try to say that Shadow of Ronin is like the bridge between seasons 4 and 5, I'm gonna have to disagree because there's so much in there that just kind of conflicts it. Am I embarrassed for liking Ninjago? No, no. It's like if you like Ninjago, then you like it. You like what you like, you know. I will say again, like in the chat though, in terms of spam, try not to spam. You know, if you guys have a question, feel free to ask it, but try not to ask it like over and over again, because it makes me not want to answer it if I see it in the chat, kind of filling it up. Um, Unfortunately, timeouts will be given for spam, so just letting you guys know this right off the bat. But in terms of that one question, because I want to go ahead and answer that, am I embarrassed for liking Ninjago? No, because you like what you like. Obviously, have I been made fun of before for liking Ninjago? Yeah. Have I been made fun of in the Ninjago community for liking something else? Yeah. It just kind of depends on like it's like people are gonna make fun of people regardless. And it's like I always found it really hilarious that the Ninjago community of all places would be full of folks that would make fun of other people for liking things like anime. Because the Ninjago community, it's like we all love Ninjago. And I've gotten bullied for liking Ninjago before. I know several other folks have too, gotten countless emails and messages about that. And at the end of the day, just like what you like. It's like you can't really, no one's going to take that away from you unless you take it away yourself. So you just like what you like, man. It's like no one really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They're just doing it because they have their own insecurities. So why not? Can I do a giveaway, please? We do giveaways every now and then here on the channel, mainly when we hit like a big milestone, if that makes sense. So we just did one for 80K. The next one will probably be at 90. So letting you guys know that if you want to see another giveaway, you got to get me to 90K. I'm just kidding. I'm a very patient person, and the channel's actually been doing pretty well the past couple of months, so big shout out to you guys for making it happen. It's all because of you guys, honestly. So I can just sit here and do my best. I can kind of just, sit here, do my thing. You guys are the reason why it's like that, so thank you very much. Sword and Shield is too easy, though. That's been the complaint for like the past couple of Pokemon games, is that it's been too easy. I think the last time I had a challenge with a Pokemon game was Black and White 2. Otherwise, X and Y was super easy. Sun and Moon was, Sword and Shield. It's been a common complaint throughout the past couple of games for Pokemon. Do I sleep? Barely. I think last night I got 4 hours. Went to bed at 6 a.m., woke up at 10 in preparation for the stream. Started making notes, getting ready to stream, and then at noon we streamed. So not too happy about that, but the Dr. Pepper helps me get through the day. Do I read any books? Not so much. I was never a big fan of like reading necessarily, but I do really like to read manga. So I got a big manga collection. Um, am I gonna show my kids Ninjago? If I have kids one day, then yeah, absolutely. But it's too early to talk about that. I am 20 years old. I don't want children yet. Maybe one day, but not today. Miraculous Ladybug? No, I have not seen that. I know a lot of the fan base crosses over with Ninjago, but I personally have not seen anything outside of what the Ninjago community has shown me. So I'm aware of it. I know that it exists. I just have not seen it on my own. I'll get my dog to love Ninjago. Yeah, just show Ninjago to the fur babies. That's what I'll do. I have 3 cats running around the apartment. I'm gonna sit them all in front of the TV, and we're gonna binge Ninjago. It's gonna be fun. Least favorite episode in season 1. Ooh, I don't want to spoil that yet because we still have got a lot of reviews going for season 1. I don't want to go ahead and spoil that just yet. So you're just gonna have to stay tuned. So. Am I planning on buying any of the new consoles? PS5 looks pretty good. Honestly, if I'm going to get anything, I'm going to get a PS5 because I'm on a PS4 right now and I obviously want like the next console. But unfortunately, as it stands right now, I'm not going to buy it anytime soon. I wasn't like one of those people trying to get the pre-order in when those were up because if we're being honest, I don't really care enough right now to buy a next gen console at the moment for a few reasons, mainly because I'm trying to save up money for other stuff, and I don't really need it because nothing is coming out on the PS5 that makes me want to buy it. The only thing that I was going to get it for was the Miles Morales game, but that's coming out for PS4. So, so I already kind of pre-ordered it for that. But in terms of in terms of other games, nah, probably not going to go ahead and grab the PS5 anytime soon. I will one day, not today. What am I gonna dress up as for Halloween? Probably nothing, man. Halloween, it's almost here, and I don't really have anything in mind for costumes, unfortunately. So yeah, probably not gonna dress up. I know in a lot of places, Halloween parties and celebrations are canceled because of COVID, so thank you for that. Obviously, it's just kind of obnoxious, the whole COVID thing. I understand that it's a huge pandemic and whatnot, but that doesn't mean that it's like, you know, doesn't mean that it's not inconvenient. Do I cosplay as anime? I'd like to at one point. I've had a few ideas for cosplay. I've been to a few anime conventions, both times without cosplaying, but I have a few ideas. Um, but I have not officially done a cosplay, if that makes sense. Dressing up as myself, yeah, man. I'm just gonna go as me. Go as my favorite YouTuber, and it's just me. Nah. Which Pokemon is better, the Sword or the Shield? In terms of which legendary is better, like Zacian or Zamazenta? Well, I played Sword, so Zacian for me. Uh, you know, I remember when I first got Sword and Shield. That's one of my favorite memories. Obviously, it's a recent memory because it's less than a year old, but it was a pretty good memory, all things considered. One of the highlights of last year was getting Sword and Shield because we were first in line at GameStop, like me and my buddy, and we got well, I bought both Sword and Shield. Bought one for him, one for me, and we got like this really cool little poster thing as well to go with it because we were first in line and we bought both games. It was really fun, really good memory. Will the Overlord come back soon? I'd like him to, but probably not. Don't really think that it's going to be coming. Don't really think that he's going to be coming back anytime soon. What did I miss? Just talking about some Q&A stuff. How old are the ninjas? Oh, we don't know, man. They could be they could be any age, actually. The series has never given them a solid age. That we've never gotten a number. The closest thing we got to a number was in the Ninjago movie when Lloyd turned 16. Obviously, the Ninjago movie doesn't cross over with the show, but if you want to go ahead and base that off of that and use the movie as a reference, then in the series right now, Lloyd is probably around 16. So the other ninja can probably just be, based around that. Obviously, Lloyd is the youngest, so the rest of the ninja got to be older than 18, or 16 rather. So, but yeah, the Ninjago movie isn't canon to the series, obviously. But if you wanted to use that as a reference, you can go ahead and use that. That's the only solid number that we've gotten throughout the entirety of Ninjago is from the Ninjago movie. So, and again, this isn't confirmed. This is just me kind of speculating and just using the movie as reference, which I'm well aware the movie isn't part of the show canon. It's two separate things. But that's the only time we've gotten a number. Am I going to review the Kids Bop Weekend Whip? No, I already listened to that once, and I think that was more than enough. More than enough times, never going back. Ninjago movie, what if it was a realm? I thought it would always been cool if the Ninjago movie was kind of like a parallel universe type thing to Ninjago. Like if there was a realm with like a parallel universe, then that would be the Ninjago movie. I always felt like that'd be pretty cool, but nothing like that's canon, or at least anyway. Still wondering what the ninjas' last names are. Yeah, we know a couple. We know Zane, we know Lloyd, obviously, and we know Jay. The ones that are up in the air are Cole, Kai, and Nia. But we have gotten, I guess, hints as to what they could be. Like Smith is supposedly the last name of Kai and Nia, and I've seen Cole's last name be Bucket, Brookstone, a couple of other stuff there. It just kind of depends on what you want. They have a Kids Bop version of the whip, yeah, and it's awful. I didn't know that until one of the other streams. Someone pointed it out to me, and I really wish that I just didn't ask about it because someone brought it up in the chat, and I'm like, oh, is that a real thing? Sure enough, it is. It is not fun. Highly recommend saving your energy. Go watch something else. You don't need to watch the Kids Bop Weekend Whip unless you really want to. Shouldn't Nia's last name be the same as Jay's? If Ninjago marriage works the same way as real life marriage, but even so, some real life marriages, the wife doesn't take the husband's last name. It's just like that's just how it is. You know, it doesn't always work like that. So, if and plus, I don't even know if Ninjago marriage works the same way because did Jay propose or was that just like a forever and always promise? You know, just kind of depends on what you wanted for Ninjago. Can I do more memes, like a meme review video? I wanted to die doing the first one. I mean, Ninjago memes are fun and all, but you know, are they married yet? Well, in March of the Oni, Jay proposed to Nia, or at least that's what it was supposed to be. It's not really too clear if it was or not, but you know, yeah, it pretty much sounds like it was a promise overall. Yeah, exactly. Chat's got it right. What would I do if Cole died? Well, in a lot of ways, I'd be sad, but I'm kind of expecting it if we're being honest, because it was foreshadowed all the way back in season 5. And while a lot of things have come out since season 5 that have kind of, I guess, suggested that Cole's not going to die, I feel like they set that up so they should go ahead and abide by that, you know? Even if the reflections really don't make much sense nowadays with the new designs and whatnot, I still feel like. Um, they should, you know, kind of respect that and follow through if they're going to introduce it. What do I think of the Lego Star Wars community? Not a big part of it, but the only thing that I've seen recently that kind of made me like cringe was the big campaign for that one specific battle pack. And that's just not a good idea. It's like if you have an idea for a set, the worst thing that you can do is spam it at Lego. I saw the Ninjago community trying to do something similar with the Ninjago collectible minifigure series because a lot of folks really want a CMF series for the 10th anniversary of Ninjago, which I feel like is a really good thing. But obviously, that's not really going to happen, at least not yet. We don't really have any evidence for that. But yeah, exactly, it worked. But that's what I'm saying is like since Lego like gave in and they did that, it kind of leaves the other communities for Lego open to being just as toxic as that. You know, it's like, oh, well, that worked for Star Wars. Why don't we just spam Lego for a Ninjago collectible minifigure series? And that was a genuine idea that I'd seen come out of the Ninjago community in direct response to that Star Wars thing. So it just kind of creates like a toxic atmosphere, especially since it worked. It only just leaves the door open for more stuff. So all in all, I feel like Lego shouldn't have done that. I feel like that was a poor decision on their part, but I feel like it was a poorer decision on the Lego Star Wars community's part for even trying to spam that thing in the first place. So as the Ninjago community, I like to think that we could be better than that, but I don't really think that you know, it's just it's just a mess, honestly. Shall I cut my man bun off? No, keep the man bun. I'm trying to grow one myself. Is the Ninjago community toxic? Some aspects of it are. For the most part, the Ninjago community is something that I've been very proud to be a part of the past several years, but can't help but admit there are some other things in the Ninjago community that I just do not care for, and some other people that I just don't like either. Like there's a reason why I don't really collab with a lot of other Ninjago YouTubers. So do like Ariana Grande. I mean, she's alright, I guess. What is the actual last episode? Like of Ninjago? Well, it's still going. Like the most recent episode is Son of Lily. So, you know. Do I like Pythor? Yeah, he's a pretty good villain overall. I want him to return, but, you know. Do you like JS? Yes. A lot of people don't like you either. Yeah, I'm aware that like some folks don't like me or whatever, and it's for like the absolute dumbest reasons, but you know, we're not going to get into that here. But for the most part, Ninjago as a community, I don't know. It definitely could be worse, but you know, all things considered, I'm glad to be a part of it. So, but I do kind of stick to myself. Like, I've been contemplating doing a video about why I don't collab or anything like that as much as I used to, because I've done collabs before, but then a bunch of like toxic stuff happened, a lot of drama. So I've kind of like stepped away from that, kind of been doing my own thing. But yeah, other Ninjago YouTubers, like, I'm not really good with any of them. It's like some of them have tried to like reach out to me after all the drama came out, but it's just like I don't want to be involved with you, man. It's like I don't like them, so why would I? You know, all things considered, without trying to like start anything, I kind of just keep to myself, kind of do my own videos and whatnot. So yeah, I collabed with Brent Miller before. I've collabed with a couple of other YouTubers. I've collabed with my very good friend, the Marvelous Jan, for some Avengers reviews. Um, but just overall, you know, should do a video of why you start collabs for a better understanding. Okay, I just kind of wanted to, I guess, suggest it to you guys first, because it was on my mind and it's like on my list of stuff to do. But if you guys want me to do a video explaining that and why I like to keep to myself a little bit, obviously it's not going to be like a big drama filled video or anything like that, because all things considered, collabs, I prefer to do videos on my own because I can, express my own stuff without having to bounce my ideas off of anybody. So, but yeah, I can write that down. I'll do that. So you guys can probably expect that to come out in the next few days, within a week maybe. Takes a minute for videos to get from the idea stage to the actual video stage. But yeah, it's something that I would like to talk about. I just wanted to know if you guys were open to that too. So, do I ship Cole and Vanya? Absolutely. I feel like they're a really good couple, and in season 13, they did a very good job of setting up those two. So, I just wish they would have done more. But we'll see what happens. I mean, like Kai and Skylar, after season 4 got done, didn't really seem like they could, be a couple, but eventually they did. So they're kind of a couple off screen, Kai and Skylar. So I hope that Cole and Vanya are kind of the same way. Because Vanya's like, hey, if you ever need help, you know where we are. So I feel like Cole's got them in his back pocket. So I'm excited for that. Do I like Bill and Ted 1, 2, 3? Haven't seen them. um, is anime gay? Depends on the anime you're watching, man. Something like Free Iwatobi Swim Club, absolutely, but it's so good, so good. Skylar or Pixel? Gotta go with Skylar. Like Pixel's a really good character as well, but Skylar's best girl. Will I do face reveal, please? Face reveal is online. You can find it pretty easily if you just search up on Google. You'll be able to find it. I've shown my face in previous videos, and some other people have my face pictures, so it's not a secret. It's like I'm out there. You just gotta look on my Twitter and Instagram, stuff like that. Sorry if I already said this was my favorite anime. I don't think I've said it this stream, but my favorite animes are either Toradora or Clanad, both of which are insanely sad, and that's something that I gotta warn people right off the bat. If you want to watch Toradora or Clanad, especially Clanad, be prepared to cry, man. That is heartbreaking. Favorite Christmas movie? Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Love it. Do I like One Punch Man? I'm on season 2. I've seen season 1 of One Punch Man. Haven't seen season 2. I heard season 2 isn't all that great, so I've kind of been taking a step back from it. If I watch it eventually, then I watch it. It's just not on my priority to-do list. We only have a few minutes left in the stream, so as I normally do towards the end of streams, let's turn it over to rapid fire questions. So just now I'm giving you guys permission to, type in questions super quick, just anything that I can answer in like one sentence or two. Uh, Go ahead and ask that. Do I think Jay and Cole would make the perfect couple? Absolutely. I ship Jay and Cole until the day I die. Put the cookie down. Yes. Who has the best hairstyle in Ninjago? Cole's man bun, without question. I'm so glad it's coming back in season 14, man. Um, what's the best place to watch the latest Ninjago episodes? Either on Cartoon Network or on YouTube when people upload them. Obviously, it's not a great thing, but you know, it's just the world we live in. Am I excited for Wonder Woman 1984? Not so much. It's not on my priority watch list. Who is cuter, Skylar and Nia? Skylar. In terms of like all around personality, Skylar's better. Lloyd and Akita, yes or no? Yes, absolutely. I ship Lloyd and Akita. Do I like Minecraft? Not so much these days. I don't really play it all that much. I used to way back in the day though. Do I like the new Marvel shows? I am excited for the Disney Plus ones. I haven't really seen any of the Netflix ones, or I haven't seen Agents of Shield. But I'm excited for the Disney Plus ones. What's my favorite Ninjago set? The movie Destiny's Bounty. Love that set. Have it on the shelf, up on the top shelf. Um, Still have it to this day. Do I have a brother? I have one brother and one sister. Do I ship Kai and Nia? Nah. Nah, 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 nah. Gonna take a hard pass there. Chen, yes. Bro, yes. Have I ever played Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild? I have not. I've heard it's good though. I'm not really that big of a Legend of Zelda fan. Um, let's see. Let's answer a few more questions before we end off the stream. We've hit 1 hour, but we can answer a few more. Can I make a video explaining why I hate Nia? Well, I don't really necessarily hate Nia, but I've done a few videos explaining what my issues with her character are. So they're up on the channel. You can go ahead and find those pretty easily if you just search up my name and type in Nia. So what do I think of the Five Nights at Freddy's community? I haven't been a part of that community since the first game came out. I played the first game, liked the first game, and then immediately left because of the community. So hopefully that answers your question. Not really too big of a fan of that at the moment. I don't know if it's changed. I haven't really been there in a while. Harumi, good or bad? Good. I think Harumi's character is good. She's a bad guy. She's a villain, but she's good overall. Do I want Golden Power back? Yeah, I feel like it should come back at some point, honestly. Do I think Ninjago will ever get a second movie? No, probably not. Especially not a sequel to the Ninjago movie. We have March of the Oni, which I guess is technically a movie in some areas of the world, but in terms of another Ninjago movie, probably not. It did too poorly financially and critically for them to warrant creating a sequel, so probably not. Is there ever going to be any more Ninjago XD? Probably not, because Lego likes to copyright strike my videos when I do nothing wrong, so. Let's see. Let's answer one more question before we end off the stream. Let's see. One more question. Who's it going to be? Who is it going to be? Well, okay, I like that question. Do I like Fairy Tail? Yeah, I've seen all of Fairy Tail. I think it's pretty good overall. Have some issues with it. A lot of folks have issues with it. I do think that the power of friendship thing is overused in Fairy Tail, but then again, that's just anime in general. But overall, I like Fairy Tail. It's pretty good anime, and that'll pretty much do it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Just to go ahead and recap the stream information before we end off here. In streaming, we will be streaming Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time. We ran a little bit late today, but that's how it usually goes. We also usually start up like 5 minutes late, so kind of makes up for it. Pretty much an hour of streaming. These streams will pretty much consist of one episode review and a Q&A. So pretty much is that, and we'll update this day by day. If there's ever a reason why I can't stream or anything like that, I will let you guys know. In the meantime, though, that's going to do it here. So thank you so much for watching. The stream will be updated or uploaded to the channel immediately after we get done streaming, in case you guys want to rewatch it or anything like that. But in the meantime, thanks a lot for watching. Happy Dave the Departed to everybody in the chat. Yes, we got a few more Dave the Departed uploads coming very, very soon. So thanks for that. But obviously, I appreciate you guys tuning in. That'll pretty much do it for this one. I am gonna go get to work on some videos. I can't talk, so Thanks a lot for watching, guys. My name is TannerFishies. I will see you guys in 2 months.